This podcast contains real stories, adult language, and occasional chaos. Some content may not be suitable for all audiences. Listener discretion is advised, especially if you're easily offended, overly nostalgic, or still living in a dorm.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Dorm Disorder. This is part two. You are on the Dorm Disorder podcast. So of all this talk of residential life, did you even call it Dorm Disorder when y'all acted out of pocket at night?
Well, they weren't in dorms.
Well, yeah, they're in houses. Was it house disorder? Like what?
With one other person.
So what does that look like though?
Sleep time disruption.
Sleeping. If y'all cut up at night, what did you call it and what did you do? Did you cut up at night?
I mean, depending on your house.
So tell us about that. What other folks did, or you know, since you were too good, you were actually in the reform camp, so you had probably on night watch.
What I think is so interesting is for the house, some of the house parents at Hershey, they would say certain kids were acting up, but like some of it was literally just the comfort of being around other people. Mm-hmm. So like sneaking out of your room to be in another room. I remember one time, my 6th grade year, there was nothing like weird about this, but as I'm about to say, it's going to sound kind of weird. House parents came into my room and there were like 5 of us laying in my twin size bed. And they're like, what are you doing? There's two people live in one room. So why are there 5 people in your bed?
Right.
Nothing was like weird to us, but we all came from super poor backgrounds. We're used to sharing beds with our whole families.
Right.
And so a twin size bed to an 11-year-old feels like a California king. Like nothing but space. I don't feel comfortable. So we were so close that all of us were like, let's just all sleep in Alex's room. And literally that happened on a pretty regular basis. So it's like, that wasn't necessarily misbehaving, but it was definitely breaking pretty major rules. Like they're like, well, if there's an emergency, how are we gonna know where to find you? Like, there's 6 rooms here. Like, we're good. As people got older, so we had much more technology at Hershey. So like our windows had alarms on them, our screens.
Okay.
So if you tried to push a screen out, alarm was happening.
Okay.
Now we learned ways to get around that. In terms of like, if you hold the screen a certain way, the wire won't get messed up. Just hold that and push it back the right way. So I mean, that happened. Definitely, kids snuck out to like old farmhouses that weren't being used anymore, or the barns because they have barns.
Yeah.
The cornfields. Ew.
Get it in where you get it in.
Cornfields.
We had, because we had like a functioning farm at Hershey. Like they produce all types of produce.
Listen, I'll tell y'all off camera the places that George got many places. So.
Oh, I mean, the thing is, like, we know where where the cameras are reaching.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so, like, definitely that, and like, we had emergency exits at the end of our hallways. So if you held the door a certain way and opened it, the alarm wouldn't go off.
Back door.
Yeah, so they would sneak people in.
Yeah. So the Bordeaux Hall. Mm-hmm. So Bordeaux and Allen, both those back doors had alarm systems on it.
Okay.
So for that reason, so you could not sneak somebody up the back door. Now that happened anyway.
Yep.
Same thing. So very similar. But you regaled me a little tale of like the ultimate dorm disorder, where someone did something. I mean, chef's kiss.
Man, he's a legend.
So tell us this great tale of what
my God.
ultimate dorm disorder looks like.
So I think what's really important to note is that Hershey, returning to campus back at that point, they did not play. They went through every piece of everything in our suitcases, shaking suitcases out, smelling our toiletries to make sure none of it had alcohol in it. Like, they did not play with us.
Okay.
So anybody who got something in, it was like, what did you do? How did you do that? Like, I'm talking even in like the student homes, depending on what house you were in, like the type of underwear you're allowed to have. So
We're gonna
like,
get to that, but
yeah, so they didn't play with us. So I think I was in 6th or 7th grade, and there was a kid named Jake, and he was a white boy, probably from like Hickville, USA. That was really kind of the vibe.
that's a Tucky.
Exactly. Those were the vibes we got from him. He was generally pretty quiet kid. Whatever. He left everybody alone. He doesn't show up to school one day. And we're like, where's Jake? Because, a boarding school, if you don't show up to school, there's only 2 places you can be.
Right. You got to be in your room or.
And the thing is, you can't stay in the rooms. The house parents are.
Kick you out,
So
right.
you're out. There's no real way for us to skip school for real. I mean, we figured out ways, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. We talk about this.
Exactly. But so he's not at school. And I'm in my locker, like, pulling something out. And someone, did you hear what Jake did? And I'm like, what happened? What do you mean? They're like, he got a bottle of whiskey. Where did he get a bottle of whiskey from? I'm like, oh, that's so dope. He got a bottle of whiskey. Cool. No, he got a bottle of whiskey, stole a meal bus, and drove off campus.
Yo,
Crashed it. And that's how he got caught.
Jake is a legend.
He is a legend. I've never seen him since then.
Well, of course not.
God, he like disappeared. For all I know, they disappeared him. But like,
Probably went to Glen Mills after that.
listen, we were like, you're kidding. So it was like the talk of the town for quite some time. Because we were like, how did he even accomplish stealing a meal bus? Is what I want to know.
Yeah, how to get the keys? Did he
Exactly.
hotwire this
How
joint?
do you get off campus?
And then yeah.
And the thing that's also like a big thing. Obviously, our campus is an open campus.
Yeah, I was about to say their campus is not hard to get off
It's
of.
definitely more
just,
heavily
I drive
surveilled,
on it.
though. Yeah. Like the public goes in and out of our campus on a regular basis, but
Yeah.
it's way more heavily surveilled. So like they do know where everybody is when they're there. But
Oh yeah. I guess you do drive through it going towards Hershey.
Yeah. Like I make
I
a
just
point,
remember
like
that,
when I go out
you
that
figure
way,
one of the
to
schools
drive
is
through
across
the
from Hershey Park,
campus.
Yeah.
on that
Yeah.
hill.
Yeah.
So yeah, but Jake, I want to say his last name.
No.
Okay, Jake. I want to say Jake.
From State Farm.
Jake was saying
But yeah, I can't oh my gosh. Honestly, anybody from my class would hear that and they're like, oh, I remember that. Like literally, we've talked about it at homecoming. Do you remember when Jake stole it? And we're just like, that is honestly crazy. How did he think to do that? Where the hell did he get that whiskey?
Yeah.
How did he get a whiskey bottle on campus?
Jake from State Farm, if you are out there, dormdisorder@gmail.com.
Legend.
We want to hear from you. You are going to chop the boarding school legend charts.
I'm
If we need to
crying.
make a chart, you have just gotten yourself at the top of the list.
It was
So
impressive.
that is a wild story,
It's
though.
impressive.
That is wild.
God.
Yeah.
We didn't, well, I mean, I guess we could steal the security vans if we really tried hard, but like that would be much.
Yeah.
And the
Or
only
golf carts.
closest thing
Not
that I
going
can think
very
of.
many places on the
Yeah. So my roommate at the time climbed in the back of the security truck. Okay, that they would drive around campus to go check on stuff. And there was a security guard named Amaro at the time. So Amaro hops in the truck to go drive and check on stuff, gets around the circle, gets to about the top of Founders Hall. My roommate jumps out the back. What you doing, Amaro? All she saw was the thing stop all of a
Oh
sudden.
my gosh.
Marrow shit himself.
I'm sure. See, they get comfortable, leave things unlocked, and
Basically,
Yep.
yeah. That's exactly
I mean,
what
I
happened.
think I understand the getting comfortable part because it's a closed campus and it's same. Like I'm like Hershey. Did they think that nobody was gonna have access to this, so they just left the keys in there, or did he hotwire it? Again, I think he was from like Pennsylvania, so hotwiring probably is not unheard of.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's probably like a to do jour.
Right.
They probably got 3 trucks. That's just how they start. They lost the keys.
As we heard last week or a couple weeks ago, you can't leave anything unlocked at
Can't
Gerard,
leave
right? You
nothing
get Lipton iced tea stolen and Pepsi delivery guy or Coke delivery guy left the back of his truck open, and Gerard's students went ham and just
rated it.
Just
Listen,
cases of Lipton ice
I don't
tea.
think that Hershey they need to even steal nothing. What, they just went, we'll just go to the grocery store.
I hear that, except it makes me think that in one of the houses our pantry was locked.
Oh, okay. So you couldn't just grab
we couldn't
whatever
just
you
go
wanted.
grab stuff. And there at a time, Hershey Chocolate Company, Hershey Foods, they would send big boxes monthly to the houses.
Oh, okay.
Just full of different types of chocolate and stuff like that. And so they would put them up and lock them, and we'd get like rationed chocolates.
I mean, I guess that's the responsible thing to do.
Sure. As an adult now, I'm like, I don't know what the hell I would do if my child sat there and ate 20 chocolate bars in one sitting.
But it just seems nice. It just seems like that's what y'all should be doing.
Right. But yeah, they definitely locked up our food at certain hours.
Breaking into vending machines, like we did. Like I ate somehow, some way. We figured out a way to get.
I'm gonna tell you some Gerard privilege I had that I've never mentioned before. Since I was in 8th grade at Gerard, I had a microwave in my wardrobe, and I would literally bring microwavable meals to Gerard. And I told no one of this. The only people who ever knew were my roommates at the time. Like, even like for a room like Mariner, it was like 7 of us. Only like the one person I shared that half of the room with knew I had like a lock-in meals. I was eating like a champion for 5 years at Gerard because I hated the food. And I'm skinny, and I was literally not eating the food. So they were like, if he keeps it hidden, house parents knew. If he keeps it hidden and puts it away. Yeah.
That's actually impressive.
Yeah, well, I'm Mike Noel. I did special things.
Yeah, well, I didn't have a microwave, but I had an iron, some bread, and some cheese.
I knew that's where this was going as soon as he said iron.
This is where it got prison like sometimes. But my senior year, I would use our iron to make grilled cheese, and every once in a while I might forget to clean the iron off, and then my roommate would go to iron his pants, and then melted cheese would just go on his pant.
Oh my god!
Damn it, Dan! Clean the fucking iron. I'm like, oh my bad.
That's disgusting.
I had to eat. Yeah.
That is some hood shit right there.
It is.
That is some hood.
So gross.
It was good. It was good.
Hey,
it was good.
Do what you got to do. These are all pre-Soul store days.
Yeah. And I had no fills, the peanut butter that came in the white can with the peanut and
butter and black.
Yep.
Yeah, on white.
And it literally said no frills.
Yeah.
Make a peanut butter and jelly with that too.
So I don't want to miss out on this one particular story if you want to tell it. Of how having a married couple watching over you can somehow go wrong.
Good Lord.
So
we going for it.
Yeah, we got, look, this story, I think it tops pretty much anything I've ever heard of Gerard. So like even at Hershey, you got better dorm disorder. You have a better structure of house parents, but that better structure can sometimes go sideways. I'll leave it there.
It's very as the world turns.
Right. Yeah, I guess. Whew.
And of course, we this is not a name place, so you don't have no names here.
I will not, but it won't be hard to figure it out. Yeah, so Milton Hershey house parents, married couples, regular married people, go through regular married people things. I'm like, how do we even get into this? One set of my house parents who I absolutely treasured. I looked at them honestly, like I didn't grow up watching successful, happy relationships or marriages. So they were my like baseline for what healthy, happy, loving marriage looked like.
Or so you thought.
For sure. For sure. So I'm like, I love these people as if they were parents. They very much mirrored the look of my family as well, with the interracialness of it. And they sat us down my senior year and told us, we need to talk to you about something. It'll be spoken about on campus, I'm sure. We wanted you to hear it from us. Mrs. had an affair.
Damn.
And we're not going anywhere. We're still going to be your house parents. It's something we've worked through. Mister has forgiven. And we want you to hear about it now before you hear about it at school. And the story came out that it was one house father on campus that was sleeping around with a few different house mothers.
A few different.
Mm-hmm.
Several.
And
multiples. He was just out there, just slinging it all up.
I feel like the worst part about it is, like, you know, when you're a kid and you have like little crushes on people that are, you know, harmless crushes. Uh-huh. He was like the house father we all had that like harmless crush on.
Apparently the house mothers were having the same crush. Just saying.
So it was just like, oh my gosh, what is happening? It hit me in a way that like probably most people experience like when their parents are going through it, that same situation.
Yeah.
Because again, like I said, it was my only actual understanding or look into what this happy, healthy, loving,
normal relationship looked like.
And so when it happened, I withdrew from the house. Like I was broken. It broke me in a way, like traumatized, I think one of you said. It was a trauma that I hadn't had to experience. And I don't know, it hit me and hurt me in a way that I was like, I love this man as a dad, and to watch him or to hear about him being hurt in this way was so major for me that I couldn't forgive her. And I'm 17. Yeah. I'm a child. And I don't think it was handled appropriately. I was 17. They should have put me in therapy. Right. They should have sat me down with a therapist and said, like, hey, like, this is what the world looks like. Let's talk about it. Let's figure this out. I was on detentions my entire senior year.
Yeah, all based on your reaction.
Just because of the way that I reacted. Now, my house father came to my bedroom, which is funny because it's not something he ever did. He was very cautious to like not be on our floor too much, or if he was on our floor, not being in our bedrooms. Right. But it was, it was a very unique situation. So he like came back and he's like, "Can we talk? I just want to talk to you. Like, I forgave her. I love her. I don't want you to hold this against her." And I'm like, "I respect you and I hear where you're coming from, but like, she hurt you and I can't forgive her for that." And he's just like, "I love that you love me that much, but like, I still love her. Like, we're not letting her go." And I'm like, "I hear you, but I can't do it." And so like, prior to the situation, I was very, very friendly in terms of like, wanting to just have normal conversations and hang out with them and be around them. But it went very, very quickly to, I'm just doing the required communication. So like, I'm checking in after school. I'm checking in after doing my chore. Thank you, bye, good night type of situation. And she did not know how to handle that. And I think, I can imagine that was so hard. Like, as an adult, I'm like, that had to have broken her heart.
Because you were very close
to her. Because we were very close. Yeah. And so I had to feel like she was essentially losing a daughter. Because I couldn't do it. I was just like completely remove myself again. And it was tough. And like, again, they handled it so poorly. Yeah. I was definitely the person in the house that took it the worst. But I also think in terms of relationships, I came from one of the most traumatized backgrounds. So like, had me relating to them in the way that I did and really loving on them the way that I did, and to watch this happen and hear what was happening, it just like, it broke me in a way that it kind of changed the trajectory of relationships for me for quite some time. Right. And I mean, I'm happy that they worked through it. They're still married. They're like the face of house parents at this point. Like, they're still a happily married couple, and I'm really happy that happened. I just feel like it was rough. And then at school, we were hearing about it at school. Like, right, yeah. And like, people were talking as the same way they would in any other school, and we're just like, I don't know what to do, because now I feel like the child of like this cheating person, and like, are you guys like, oh, did this happen in your house? What was going on? And I'm like, oh my gosh, like,
Yeah.
I just want to go to school.
So now you're an adult and you've got a couple master's degrees. You are trained in education. What's one of the things that, like, because we talked about a trauma where these guys had a classmate pass away on them. And we talked about how the school poorly addressed that.
Right.
Do you think that, what's something that all the boarding schools could do better when it comes to dealing with kids and trauma? Because I even think, I don't care what rich kids say, they got problems too. I live with rich people, they got problems too. I don't think that trauma is just dealt with well. Is this something that you would, as an adult now, you look back and say, here's something that boarding schools could do different?
I guess I could happily say I'm watching boarding schools do it differently.
That's good.
Girard included. I have heard that Hershey's approach to mental health is very, like, significantly different than when I was there.
Right.
I want to say part of that is due to the fact that we have a president who is an alumnus of Milton Hershey. So he saw the different traumas that kids experienced because he lived it. And so I've heard nothing but great things about what they're offering now, really approaching everything from, like, a trauma-informed background, because the fact of the matter is a lot of adults who work at these boarding schools who didn't have to go to a boarding school,
right,
they're not living parallel lives to us. Like, we've lived these lives that people will never, ever have to experience.
Right.
And we lived that before we even started at school. So, like, most people 6 to 8 years old have lived the life of a 30-year-old. And I know that Girard they have some trauma-informed background system that they had started a few years ago in conjunction with CHOP.
Okay.
And so CHOP therapists, they may not be therapists, I don't exactly know their title, but I know that they've stepped in and have since been working with a lot of the kids.
That's good.
And so from what I would imagine, it has to be a lot better than what it was before.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's still a lot of room for growth. I think a lot of the time, again, like, if they didn't experience the things that we experienced, it's really hard for them to understand it.
Right.
And I even say the same thing. Like, you can work at a boarding school for 50 years and you're still never going to understand what it feels to be there.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people will try to argue it, and I'm like, no. Like, I respect that you're part of this community. I respect that you put in more time in this community than I did. But my experience trumps yours. Like,
yeah.
It really does. You can't tell me just by witnessing people's experiences that you truly, truly lived it.
Right.
And so I think just a lot of needing to restructure things so that they are, because I also think there's so many of us that operate from this, like, this space where the grin and bear it kind of
Yeah.
and we don't look like we come from trauma.
Right.
And we're not acting like we came from trauma. But, like, if you hit certain points, it's like, oh my God, he went through it, And I think I hate that. That what I witness is that we don't usually attack it until we watch something bad happen.
Right.
Where I feel like we should just
be
treat
proactive.
every child. Yeah, they come in, let's figure out where their traumas are, help them learn their triggers, figure that, because
right.
This generation is also significantly different.
Yeah.
And so I feel like we have the opportunity because you have them all day.
Right.
Through bedtime.
Right.
So, like, you have the time to actually figure it out. Whereas at a normal school, you wouldn't necessarily have
Right. They just go home at 3 o'clock.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'd love to see that. And I did actually see that Girard is hiring a residential staff therapist, I believe.
Okay.
Or behavioral therapist or something of that nature. So it sounds like that might be the pathway that they're traveling.
Okay.
But again, I think that we don't treat every kid as if they came from trauma, and I really think we need to.
I get that.
Because it's so easy to pretend like we didn't go through hell.
Yeah. Hence the reason for the Dorm Disorder podcast.
Yeah. Yep.
So I'm going to segue away from all this reminiscing and realizing how awesome Hershey is. Not going to speak badly of Gerard. Our Gerard was still awesome, but it was awesome different way. That didn't have great food. So let's talk about your current position. You are the director of the GCAA, so you do get to see a lot of. You live a boarding school life as an adult now.
Yes.
And dealing with us, the alumni of Girard College. What's that been like, and where's that going? Where's the Alumni Association direction headed?
So I started at Girard in 2014, and not as the director, as administrative assistant. And I think the biggest eye opener for me was having to work the span of generations.
Yeah.
And trying to appease the different generations. And somebody who graduated in 1940 has a very different expectation than somebody who graduated in 94. And I think that was probably one of the tougher experiences for me in the GCAA, but also the most rewarding, because I feel like I've grown so much as a person, learning just different groups of people. So Hershey and Girard's alumni associations don't look too different.
Okay.
In numbers, yes, but in like ethnic makeup,
function.
Not too much. And yeah, in the function, exactly. So like the older generation, because the school was for white orphan boys, the generation looks the same, right? Like Hershey's same exact as Girard. And moving on through like current, Hershey is just a very, very diverse school. So with them, I was able to work with like all different ethnicities in one generation, whereas with Girard, it's significantly different. You know, like I don't know the percentage of students that are Black at our school, but our school, it's a Black school. Like it's majority Black. And so even having to appease a young Black generation and a much older white generation.
Right.
And then all of the middle.
Right.
It's been interesting, but again, like I think it's been really rewarding. I think, unfortunately, some of the bigger like donors were from the older generation.
Yeah. Boomers still have all the money, so yeah, it is what it is.
Right. And they're taking it with them. But like when I first started, the classes that were super active are just, you know, they're dying off now.
Right.
Which is to be expected. And what I'm witnessing about that era, they felt much more like brothers, in that a lot of them also didn't go home or have homes to go to.
Right.
Yeah.
So they only had each other. So it was a built-in, like, we have to. Whereas I know that y'all built that for yourselves in your era, but then I'm noticing the younger generations, Girard almost feels like it was just my school that I went to, and I'm going home on the weekends.
Right.
And
Interesting.
yeah, and it's interesting, a little bit heartbreaking. I do try to foster in the office, like, that space of, like, y'all are brothers and sisters. You know that, right? Like, we stand by each other. We come from the same things. We're going to support each other. If I break through this glass window, I'm reaching back and grabbing, or glass ceiling, I'm reaching back and grabbing you to pull you up with me.
Yeah.
Rather than what we have seen, where it's just like, oh, I'm here and you're a loser because you haven't gotten here yet. You know?
Right.
The association, though, I think it's been really cool to watch. Even the board has changed to like younger generations.
Right.
So we're watching a little bit more interest from the younger generation. I think what has been really unfortunate is a lot of younger folks that I've talked to, and I mean, I would even include you guys in the like younger.
Yeah, I know. I was going to actually say that. We are the younger generation when you're talking about people from 1940.
Right.
Yeah.
So like talking to your generation and below, what kind of makes me sad is to hear like, oh, I'm not involved because I don't have the money to be involved. And I'm like, no, yes, that would be great. Like, if once you get money, it would be great to donate to us. However, like, we want to see y'all on campus. We want to see you guys in volunteer spaces with the kids. Like, we're trying to foster that, like, true alumni are your big brothers and big sisters. And when you graduate, if you need help getting to a job, or you need somebody to talk to, or you need a hot meal because the dorm food is just not doing it, these are your people.
Right.
And they're built in. Like, it's built in that way. And I think that has been kind of where we've been breaking through to some young alum of like, it's okay that you don't feel like you have money to offer. There's so much more that you have to offer. Like, social capital is worth so much more. And I think that's kind of the direction we're trying to push it. And like, okay, I understand you don't have the money. That's not what I'm asking for. I want you to be here. I want you to be present for this little winter wonderland experience we're doing. We do alumni speaker series, and we're highlighting alum from the 2000s and giving the opportunity to high schoolers to meet them, to find out about their careers. We have an alumnus who is an architect, a Black male architect.
Yeah.
And these kids are like, Black people can be architects? And I'm like, ooh.
Yeah.
And that's why we're doing this. Like, that's why we'll continue this, because absolutely, you can be whatever you want to be. Let's meet all of these different people. And then also just highlighting, because the older generation really is like steadfast on the mechanical backgrounds that they got, the hands-on experiences that they had, that is not happening anymore. And we've heard that it's not going to happen again.
Yeah.
And so while I do find that to be, I have my own opinions about that, but even teaching the kids that like trades are really important, they're really special, and like hearing young girls be like, oh, I wonder what that would be like for a girl. I'm like, you would probably be the only one in the company. Like, let's go. Like, is this what you're interested in? Who do I need to connect you to? Yeah. And I think that's really where we're at right now. It's just wanting alumni to see that they are so much more important than the dollars that they have. And I think we've been able to start reaching out. And we did hire somebody in the office recently. Well, he was working through an assistantship, and apprenticeship. His apprenticeship ended. So now we're working on hiring him, like actually as an employee. But he'll be the alumni engagement coordinator. And that really frees up me from having to do everything. Because I have been doing everything. Everything that's come out of the alumni office has been coming just from me. So that's Founders Day, that's any kind of homecoming, that's alumni speaker series, that literally anything you can think of that the alumni has been doing, the student trips and all that kind of. So having him is really going to give us the opportunity to really engage more alumni. And we're trying to hit the Instagram and the Facebook and like hitting, those.
Finding us where we are.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think that's what it is. I think for a really long time, a lot of people are nervous about what they don't know.
Right.
And so even though I'm younger in the Alumni Association, when I would try to convince the people, the powers that be, so like, we need to move into this or we need to do that, they're like, oh, we don't need that. It's worked so far. And I'm like, it has worked so far, but for my generation, that's not going to work.
Yeah.
And so it's really, that's where we're at now. I think just trying to hit the attention of the younger alum and get them involved. Even just being present, like presence in and of itself is so big for us.
So we're coming up into the school year. Is it two things that you got a whole audience now of our alumni? Hopefully you're alumni as well. So, but what's two things our alumni could do to help in this upcoming year?
Okay, well, the very first thing that I think anybody representing the GCA is going to say is to join Cavalier Connections. I know Ron touched on that, I think. But Cavalier Connections is essentially like our LinkedIn for alumni. The problem with it is if we don't have alumni on it, we can't utilize it the way it's meant to be utilized. But with Cavalier Connections, we could literally there's a map that'll show you where alumni live in the world.
Right. Oh, wow.
So it's like, oh, I'm going to move to Abu Dhabi. Are there any alumni who live there?
Right.
Boom, I can find them. I can contact them through here or whatever. Also looking at mapping out the different career fields so that when people are wanting to change a career or they want to be a mentor in their career, they have the space that's just built in already to do so.
Right.
So that's just like a really major, and it's free, and like we don't send out a million email blasts. I try to get one out kind of regularly so that people are in the know, but like that's really the biggest, easiest way to be supporting us.
And how do they find Cavalier Connections?
So it's cavalierconnections.org.
Okay.
On our Instagram, we have a All My Links account.
Okay.
You can click the All My Links. It's on there. I'm trying to think of where else it might be. I think that's where it predominantly is. We might have a QR code on our IG as well. But that's how you find it. If you can't find it, I'm happy to answer the emails and send it right back to, like, email me at acruz@girardalumni.org, or acruz@girardcollege.edu. And yeah, that's the easiest way. The other way is to volunteer when I ask for volunteers.
Okay.
Unfortunately, most of our volunteering stuff is going to be in person.
Right.
I know I do have had a good number of alum reach out and ask, like, how can I be involved from afar? And we're working on it. It's just our kids experienced COVID.
Right.
So, like, their social skills were seriously affected, and they really need people in front of them to be interactive. To really, like, I know a lot of alum have asked, can we do alumni speaker series virtually? And while I'd love to do that, it's not going to be as helpful for our kids.
Right.
So if alumni are coming to Philly for some reason that's outside of Founders Day, and they're like, hey, is there anything I can do while I'm there? Can I come to the campus? Can I pop in? Like, I'm working on systems with the lower school principal, where she wants to have, like, regular alumni series where alumni are coming in and, like, reading to her classes, or we're hosting maybe an alumni student talent show. So there's just a lot of different things that we're trying to do that incorporate the alumni back on campus. Because I did hear from some people that they didn't feel like they were welcome anymore.
Exactly.
And that's horrible because it's home.
There's been a couple instances, and I touched on this with Mike earlier, where I tried to come back to help at a soccer camp over the summertime, and it was probably like 6-7 years ago. It may have been even before you got there, but the old regime was still there. So the old AD or the old women's basketball coach who had an issue with me as a student, and I was a jerk when I was there. I mean,
you were an asshole.
An asshole, yeah. I didn't deal with authority well, and I never did, and that goes back to trauma when you're little, when you don't have enough food to eat, and you're trying to, sleeping in a car for, close to a year. You have those traumas when you get there.
Right.
But I'm, like, offering to come back and just give my time. I went to school. I played at Temple. Like, I have something to offer. And they just didn't. So a lot of us felt like there wasn't really an opportunity for us to come back. And if we're not like Rocco, Montana, who can donate $1 million for a soccer field, till our hearts be still. But if we don't have that money, then, the only thing we can offer is time. So it's good to hear you say that that's changed.
Yeah, I think also it's really important for alums to understand that there are avenues also to reach out. Like, not saying that you reach out to the wrong person, but I've heard where alum are like, I emailed the president. Well, respectfully.
You probably didn't check that one. Might went in spam.
That was that you thought was the best route to go? Oh, okay. Because respectfully, the president has a big job, and answering your emails, no disrespect, it's not on the top of his list.
Right.
I don't even know that he's reading my email. I feel like his assistant is probably reading my emails.
Yeah.
So going through the GCAA is honestly the best route because we're on campus. I can walk up to an office if you feel like you're being ignored and knock on that door and say, hey, what's going on? But they do have a good amount of respect for the GCAA. They are calling on us for opinions on things. They do ask, hey, could I get an alum for this first? The lower school principal wants to do a mural project in the building, in the hallway, I think.
Yeah.
And there's
a billion artists.
They hired an alum muralist. So they want to first give the opportunities to alumni, but I think alumni sometimes just don't know where to go. And if we're being honest, because Hershey's the same way, alumni are very
fickle.
I mean, that's definitely a word, but entitled. Yeah. They feel a sense of entitlement. Like, I went here. Like, this is where I live. Understood. I hear you. I definitely get that.
Yeah.
Because we're the same way at Hershey. Like, what do you mean I can't do this?
Right.
I went here longer than, But there are avenues, there's things put in place for a certain for reasons that even I probably don't understand. But I'm loving that alumni are hitting me up so much and saying, how can I do this? What can I do here? We had like Anwar fly in for alumni speaker series from New Orleans.
Nice.
And he's like, oh, I'm just here for the night, just for this. And I'm like, you did what? Just for this? And like the kids find that out and they're like, wow, these people have no idea who I am. And here they are showing up for me.
Right.
And so that's really where I land. Like, yes, money is always going to be important to us because it's not everlasting.
Yep.
Right.
But we are supporting alumni who are in grad school. You know, some people have gotten their entire grad degrees funded by the GCAA.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that money is not going to last forever. So we do need to find ways and places to get donations. But we want to see your faces first. Like, that to me means more. Like, Founders Day should be appallingly full. Like, I should be
it used to be a lot
pushing
more
people
full back in
through
the day.
to get out of my way, honestly. Like, and I will say this past Founders Day, I do feel like was great. We had a really good turnout. The weather was amazing, which is like, what?
It didn't rain for once.
Every Saturday.
And I had a lot of fun. I was able to experience Founders Day for real for the first time.
Yeah.
Because I had other people doing the groundwork that I'm normally doing. But even something simple like showing up for a Founders Day. And it's like, this year you didn't even have to buy your own food. Like, we fed you.
Yeah, the water rice was awesome.
Yeah.
So we're just trying to figure out more ways to bring more alum to campus, to feel welcome. This is your home. We understand that. Yes, you're not going to be able to enter the same way you could when you were a student, but it doesn't mean we don't want you here. Like, let's figure out routes to do that.
That's weird, though. You want to go back on campus now, I feel like a guest. I don't feel like...
Do you feel like a guest?
Yeah, I don't feel like... I don't walk in like I belong here. Like, what? No, you don't.
Look,
I've been
here's
out
the
of
thing,
Girard
though,
for
right?
30-something
You would be
years.
surprised.
Eventually, your mama took your key away. You didn't have a key to your mama's house your whole dang life. I know my key eventually, like, you don't need that no more. Ma, still come home. You don't need that no more.
Yeah. You gotta
So
come in there and take a
eventually you gotta
shower?
take
What are you
it.
doing?
Honestly,
Well-
you'd be surprised. And we do have like more security clearances and stuff that happen now than used to happen.
Absolutely.
But I'm like,
Yeah.
it's a new day and age. If anything, you should be like, oh, I'm glad you're looking out
Absolutely.
for
No, I
Absolutely.
am. Yeah.
where we have gotten a good amount of pushback where people are like, I went to school here. What do you mean? And I'm like, that doesn't mean you didn't do something out here after you graduated.
Yeah.
Like,
And a lot of them know they did. Nah, y'all know what y'all did.
Who are you? Show your ID.
Right.
Shut up. Just show your ID and just go.
but
Well,
yeah,
we are
surprising.
coming close on our time. So, Dan, you got any final points?
Yeah, I don't mean to make Alex jealous, but we had a summer program at Girard.
Oh, yeah, Pleasure
And
School.
it was called Pleasure School.
Pleasure School,
I don't know if
baby.
you had a cool name like that, but
Definitely
it was a summer camp, and I think eventually it either came from William Penn or eventually turned into William Penn. Like
it was Camp William. It turned into Camp William.
it turned into Camp William Penn. Yeah, but it was a summer program for kids who did not go home or like my mom wanted me just to stay. So it ran a couple of weeks. I think it was like 2-3 weeks. There was 2 sessions. You could sign up for both. We were not solving crimes or anything like that. We were playing stickball, tennis. But they had arts and crafts. They had some stuff that went on for us. So that was I don't want to say the good old days, but that's the days of the weekend programs and all that stuff that we had and we grew up on. So just give a shout out to Pleasure School real quick.
That's crazy name. Like, who thought that was a good idea name? Like, what?
Yo, that honestly,
Pleasure School? Come on.
it didn't sound creepy in my entire
Dios.
life until right now.
Yeah.
It did not sound
But
creepy.
the adults didn't think it sounded creepy. Like, as adults, Pleasure School, like,
They were boomers. They knew it wasn't. They knew it wasn't the
summertime.
60s and
It's a
70s.
summertime staff. It wasn't
Yeah.
actual people that ran the school during the school
Okay.
year.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I don't know where they came with the name Pleasure School. And I think we had T-shirts of Pleasure School.
Yeah.
oh.
Pleasure
I mean,
School.
look,
need to see
hindsight's
that. I need to
2020.
see this.
Okay, honestly, until you made that face, I never thought anything negative about Pleasure School.
That's like, we were a summer of opportunities and then it changed to a year-round experience.
See, but you all were awesome and have more money.
Yeah. Summer of opportunities.
So this is where we get to our part where we say our thank yous, tell our hearts be stills, or shout out somebody that we want to remember that impacted our lives at boarding school. So I'm going to start off with you. Anyone that you would want to shout out about Milton Hershey that impacted you to this day?
It's really hard to pick just one person.
You don't got to pick just one, but makes it easier.
I hear you, but I have a trio of women who I feel like impacted me in a way that I will never ever be able to thank them for. My house mother, who loves me so fiercely and so harshly sometimes, because even after I transferred out of her house, she went to my new home to visit me. She was known for her baking, and so she would bring the baked goods that I loved to school for me.
Oh, nice.
Even after I transferred out. And so, like, I called her Mama Akins. That, one of my moms. Solid. She looked out for my family in ways that were way beyond what house parents should have needed to do. So, Miss Akins, Mama Akins. And then I had two teachers who were solid basis for me and my sibling, but then also for my mother. We gave them nicknames. So one was like, her name is Mrs. Squaresky, but we call her Square. And Miss Henry, and we call her Hen. And we call her Mama Hen most often. I just talked to her the other day. But those two women were the type of people that would see me struggling, stop class and say, keep working, come out in the hallway and talk with me.
Yeah.
And like, my mental, emotional health was way more important to them than my academics. And I was like an A+ student, but it didn't matter. Like they wanted to make sure I was happy, thriving, wanted to figure out and get down to the nitty gritty of like what's happening and do you need to stay after school so we can have a deeper conversation. And these are women who I still go to lunch with, who have counseled me through endless labyrinths of life, and have helped me with parenting, even my own child. So yeah, Mama Akins, Mama Hen, and Square. Those are the three women that I shout out every Mother's Day because they are also my moms.
Beautiful.
That's awesome.
So yeah, those are the women.
Thank you so much for sharing that with us. Dan, what you got this week?
So listen, I'm taking it into a completely different direction. It's not going to be heartfelt at all. The apology is going to be, but the story itself is not going to be heartfelt. So in 5th grade, I was actually good. I was a good student. I was a safety.
I don't believe it.
We had this thing called the number 1 club. And if you got there 10 weeks in a row, you got the personal pan pizza from Pizza Hut. So I had the safety belt. I was in the book club. I was in the number 1 club. And they let us go to the bathroom as a group. We walked into the men's room, and all the urinals were being used. And for some unknown reason, I went over to the window and started to pee out of the window of the junior school. So
Who did you hit?
So I didn't hit anybody. However, the interim principal of the elementary school was a lady by the name of Miss Fletcher. Charles E. Beard, till our hearts be still, just recently passed away, was on sabbatical. And as I'm peeing, myself and Miss Fletcher locked.
Oh my gosh.
So the story goes, when I was finished, she came to my classroom, and it was 5th grade. So I had Miss Dixon, who I loved immensely and still do. Miss Fletcher comes in and says she has to pull me out of class, and she pulls me out of class. I'm no longer a safety. I was 2 hours from being 10 weeks in the number 1 club. That was also removed. And I did not get my personal pan pizza for that week. And she paddled me. And Miss Fletcher was probably 110 pounds, soaking wet. Had the glasses that sat on her nose for her to be able to see. And when she paddled me, those glasses fell off and she hit me square in the middle of my thighs.
Good.
Yeah. Square in the middle of my thighs. So I want to apologize, to Miss Fletcher if she's still around, and even if she isn't, I just want to offer that apology because I never did apologize to that. And I think that might have been the moment where my behavior just took a turn for the worse. Yeah. Miss Fletcher. I felt bad.
You proved my point like every third episode that you were a dick. In this case, quite literally.
Yes. Yes. Right across. We locked eyes.
Man.
I was like, oh, well, I'm in trouble now. I might as well finish.
You gotta finish, right? You can't pitch it off.
I might as well finish.
I'm here now.
She saw my face. It's done.
Yes.
My God. Well,
Miss Fletcher.
I think I should have went next. I'm gonna shout out two Hershey people. So it's just a shout out to them. When you're a Gerard person, you got your Gerard best friend and you got your at-home best friend. Mm-hmm. My best friend's at-home best friends was a Hershey student, Maury. Shout out to Maury. Well, this is how weird, circles can be small. My sister-in-law, her best friend's husband is a Hershey alum. We get together for my brother-in-law's retirement from the Air Force. She's like, hey, my girlfriend's husband went to a boarding school. Y'all can yuck it up. Turns out he went to Hershey. Turns out that his roommate was my best friend's roommate. So Maury and Fredo were roommates at Hershey in the 90s. When we met, we just instant boarding school love. We are just chatting and yucking it up. And I found out Maury is his roommate. Me take a selfie. Maury's still my friend too. I texted to him. He's like, is that Fredo? Maury, Fredo, Hershey people, love y'all. Shout out to you. Thank you very much for being my friend too. Fredo, I know I ain't talked to you in forever, but small world. Either way.
Yep.
So that concludes our show this week. Look, folks, we're going to keep bringing this to you. We're going to keep doing this. We're going to keep charging forward, and we're going to grow this out to other boarding schools. I'm sure there's more circles like that out there. We are a small community. It was a woman that went to the most expensive boarding school in the world that gave me the inspiration to try to do this in this space. Let's try to grow this out. Boarding school people, have them hit us up, dormdisorder@gmail.com. Check us out on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Apple Music, Amazon Music, Audible. We are all out there for everyone to see, and we want to make this grow and to become something special for all of us. Because one of the things that we talked about, Dan and I, when we started this, is this would be therapy. Because we all got boarding school trauma.
Yep.
That's all this week. Thank you so much for joining us. Take care.
You know how we do. Peace out.
He got a bottle of whiskey, stole a meal bus, and drove off campus.